be Vedic. I just have not experienced chanting it within any of the texts.
Okay.
So it's early, it's Vishnu, but I'm not sure. And then the next one is to Ganesha or Ganapati.
Right.
And then the third and fourth are to Lord Krishna. And of course, Lord Krishna is, sometimes Vishnu, so that's the top one. And then the third and fourth are also, Lord Krishna in a certain form. And these chants these are all the chants in this order. This is how we begin our classes with Sonia Nelson and Deborah Kurian, and how they begin the classes in India at Desikachar's place.
Okay. I think you did say that last week, so I just.
Yeah, and they are mostly Vaishnavas,
Got
which
it.
means they honor Lord Krishna.
So this is coming from that.
This is definitely out of that lineage.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
Hence the Krishna Macharya, that's to him, and then Desikachar.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's all right. And the guru one is all the gurus. So that's regardless of whether you are a Shaivite or a Vaishnavite or anything. It doesn't matter. It's all the gurus. Namo Vakadhimahe. Lots of invoking. And very interesting that we don't chant the pranava until the very end, because we have to chant ha to bring up the impurities, ri to burn the impurities, and hi to blow the ashes away. Then our vehicle is proper for the pranava, which is the akshara syllable. Okay, so shall I do Shuklam then? And then we.
Yeah, Leslie, I can do the Guru Vandana.
Okay, great. Okay. And then is Elizabeth here? Or Rebecca, would you like to do either a dedication to Krishna Macharya or Desikachar? Or would you like to do Sahanavavatu?
No, I can do one. So that would be Desikachar is the
Shishyakam Krishna
Krishna
Maryasya.
Maria, that one.
Yeah.
I can do that one.
Okay.
Sort of. I mean, just bear with me.
We're all bearing with each other. Tim, did you want to chant a verse? Okay. All right then. And then, so I will chant the one, everyone's favorite, to Krishna Macharya, which seems to go on forever, but that's it. Okay, so we all have our parts. This is like assigning roles in a play, isn't it? Okay, whenever you're ready, Lisa.
I think you're doing the first one, Leslie.
Oh, am I? Oh, which I've already forgot. Oh, that you're doing later. Okay. Oh, you're doing the guru. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnan Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye.
Yasya Dviradavaktraryaha Parishadya Parashatam Vignan Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamashraye.
Jnananandamayam devam nirmala sphatika khartim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivamupadmahe Pundarikaastanasinam पाण्डुराभ्रेन्दुसन्निभम् अखण्डबोधजनकम् हयग्रीवमुपास्महे
Gurubhyasat Gurubhyasha Namo Vakamahitmahe Vinimahe Chatatratyao Dampati Jagatam Pati.
Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shri Nutnarangendra Yatau Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryam Guru Varyamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guruvar Yamaham Bhaje.
Shishyakang Krishna Maryasya Natavam Shapradipakam Kalyang Nagunarupantan Shri Deshikam Namamyaham. Am I still here? Someone else finish it for me.
Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaram Yaham Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryang Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I separated the shantis this time. Either way is good. Figured I was running out of breath, so I'd and take a breath, start again, take a breath, start again.
That was so beautiful to hear everybody chanting the different parts. Really beautiful.
Thank you for saying so, Rebecca. I agree. I think it's wonderful. Do you all have the handout that contains the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra? It has a couple of other things on it. I sent it out today. Otherwise, if you have your book, it is on page 73, I believe. I wanted to chant this because a very good friend of mine is recovering from something. And could you all hold someone in your heart who's having a hard time health-wise? Do you all know someone? Just hold someone in your heart. And we're going to chant the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra. And Shubhraji has, there's a CD of hers that you can buy, and it is an explanation of the Maha Mrtyunjaya mantra, and it's just wonderful. It's a recording of a live talk that she gave, some seminar, and she explains it word for word. And she says that this chant is a chant that can be, it can be broadcast in hospitals, and she claimed it is chanted in hospitals somewhere. It's for people who are in the process of getting better. She also said it is not the chant to be done at funerals or when we know someone is getting ready to die, because then that person needs to be encouraged to cross over, or if the person has already died, Om Namo Narayanaya, or one of those verses from the Bhagavad Gita is more appropriate. But when someone is definitely in need of health, this is the chant to chant. So if you all can hold someone in your heart, here we go. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe. I'm going to start over. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. You may notice that I chanted bandhanat with the T at the end. That's because I knew I was going to have to take a breath, which is allowed according to Shubhraji. She pointed that out. If we want to do it all in one breath, then it's bandhanan mrityor. So we'll take just one line at a time in call and response. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe. Just that much, starting with Om. Om Triyambakanya Jamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Urvarukamiva Bandhanan, or bandhanat mrityor mukshiyamamritat mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. So as the translation says, Triyambakam is the three-eyed Lord Shiva. Shubraji points out in her seminar that Amba means mother. So she suggests the possibility of this including the three mothers, or the three consorts to Brahma, Shiva, and Krishna, who would be Lakshmi being Krishna's wife, and Parvati or Uma or Kali as Lord Shiva's wife, and Saraswati with Lord Brahma. So anyway, Triyambakam is just interesting that Amba is in there, the mother, but most often it's translated as the three-eyed one. Yajamahe, yajna, yaj, to worship. Yet we worship. And then Sugandhim. Do you see sugar in that? There it almost is, sugar, something sweet, who is sweet. And she said it's also, this deity has a fragrance. And she talks about how, even when someone leaves the room, I think Bob Gilbo mentioned something about this. If you're wearing Chanel No. 5 or something, and you're lovely, you're nicely perfumed, you can leave the room and there's the waft of your essence, that fragrance still there. So he is fragrant, this three-eyed one, Sugandhim. He is fragrant, he is sweet. Pushti, that's the word. Push means to nourish. Pushti, who nourishes. Vardhanam. Vardhanam comes from vrid, which means to expand. Vridhi. So the one who expands and is everywhere all at the same time. Urvarukam iva. Iva meaning like. Urvarukam. That's a fancy Sanskrit word for cucumber, if you will, or one of those gourds that grow on the vine. Bandhanat, from bondage, bandha. And bandhuhu means friend, someone who is bound to someone else. But here, from bondage, from being bound to the vine, when that cucumber or that gourd is ready, it is then freed from the vine, ready to be eaten. Mrityaha. Mri means to die. Mrityaha means death. So Mrityaha or Mrityo or Mukshiya, Mukshiya is related to the verb moksh or moksha, liberation. So liberate us from death or from the fear that we no longer exist because we die, and liberate us from that and bring Mam Muratat. Ma, that's me, direct object. So liberate from death and take me to Amrita, Amritam, Ma Mritat. I don't know why there's the ending that it is, Ma Mritat. That usually means me from the nectar. We want to go into the nectar, but anyway, these things happen grammatically. Sometimes we can't make grammatical sense of everything, but anyway, the idea is, Om, we worship you, O three-eyed one, the one, three wives, whatever. Sugandhim, who is sweet and nourishes and is everywhere at the same time. Just like the cucumber that has been freed from the vine, liberate us or liberate me from the bondage so that I can taste the nectar of immortality, so that I am no longer afraid of death. So let's chant this 3 times, why don't we? Before we chant it through, is there any part that you would like to go over? Sure, Rebecca.
I just had a question on the first word, Triyambukam. It sounded like you did something a little different with the last come.
Yes,
Or-
anusvara, anusvara, and it's triyambakam. Triyambaka, there's a ya in yajamahe, and so, and this is a Vedic chant, so we have to pay very close attention to all these sandhis that occur. So the of kam
Mhm.
has to change to anya, nya.
Yeah, okay.
And with the, tilde over it, if you will, so that it slides very easily into the Y sound. So instead of
Okay.
Triyambakam yajamahe, everyone do that. Everyone do that. Just right now, chant Triyambakam yajamahe. Do that twice. Triyambakam yajamahe. Triyambakam yajamahe. Do you feel all the busyness that the tongue has to go through? Yeah. So the Sanskritists have made it easier by just placing the sound at the second mouth position back in the soft palate. Triyambakam yajamahe. Then nothing else has to happen. It goes right there. Thank you for bringing that up, so I can give a long-winded explanation. Okay, are we ready?
It's funny, Leslie, for me, it doesn't flow as easily for you. It's like going from the k to the n, the kung ya. It doesn't feel as easy as come ya. To me feels better. That feels better to me. The kung ya, it doesn't feel as good.
That's because it's new.
Is that it?
It's new to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. But that's good. Yeah, because we're used to Triyambakam ya. We've learned to be able to do that fast. But if we can cultivate these vibrations in these other mouth positions, then we see. But I'm glad you brought that up, because, of course, the familiar is always easier. Yeah. So it's going to be hard for a while. Okay, so here we go. Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So hopefully our loved ones are feeling that and feeling better and getting better. Okay. Oh, and Lisa, you weren't here last week, and Rebecca, you weren't either. So we're moving to the Chanti Pathah, but there are two of them. So take the one that has Sahanavatu Vavatu at the top, and we're going to go to the second one. Namo brahmane. brahmane, brahmane. So in most Vedic chant mantras, etc., I try to do my best to bring in the chant marks as well as all the pronunciation marks. Om namo brahmane, namo astvagnaye, namah prithvyai, nama oshadhibhyaha, namo vache, namo vachaspataye, namo vishnave, brihate karomi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm pausing because there was an example I wanted to show you. Because sometimes we mix up those chant marks with the pronunciation mark. So let's just take it line by line, just so that we all will focus mostly on swara, which is the pitch, but we also have the other pronunciations as well. Just that first physical line. Om namo brahmane, namo astvagnaye. Now, do you all see that? Are you able to make sense of what your eyes are telling you and what you're hearing? And what you are also beginning to chant now. Okay, so let's do that again. And then we'll move on to the second line. Om namo brahmane, namo astvagnaye, namah prithvyai, nama oshadhibhyaha. So again, so we'll repeat the second line. Nama prithvyai, nama oshadhibhyaha. Are there any questions on that?
Yeah, Leslie, can you just confirm that Osh Adi be yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
we go-
lot there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the D, which is Mahaprana, and the Bhyaha, which can be tricky because we have to go from a Bha into a Ya without any vowel in between. So let's try something though. Let's put the in between them. Just here's an exercise. Just chant, just say Bhaya, 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 which is a word actually meaning fear. Bhaya, Bhaya, Bhaya. Now the tricky thing is, can we remove that that comes directly after the B? And then we have to put the ya right there. So bhya, 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 and then try to accelerate. Bhya, bhya. And I find the only way I can do this is if I am working with my abdomen, because otherwise, forget it. So that word starts in the middle, O is in the middle, and then Sha goes up Dhi goes in the middle, and bhyaha stays in the middle. Oshadhi bhyaha. Oshadhi bhyaha. Oshadhi bhyaha. So what might be helpful is that we're not trying to create a pause, but a pause does happen after the dhi because we're bringing our lips together to prepare for the bhya. And hopefully that is a helpful thing because we don't have to feel like we are rushing. We should never feel rushed unless the teacher tells you to go really fast, and then we're then we're in trouble. So it should be Oshadhi bhyaha. Let's do that twice through. Oshadhi bhyaha. Oshadhi bhyaha. Well, we may have bled that one to death, but hopefully not.
Leslie, can I just ask another question? So that the S with the dot under it, doesn't that mean we're supposed to go down?
No, the dot is only a pronunciation. It's telling us to, in gross terms, it's an SH sound. Whenever we see a mark accompanying the S, whether it's a dot beneath or the little diagonal dash above, they're telling us different mouth positions, but just know it's an SH kind of a sound. So here it's the third mouth position. So the tip of the tongue goes to the hard palate. Osha, Osha. Yes.
That's not that's why I was having trouble because I was trying to go down on the S and then up on the A.
No, the consonants, they don't get
Okay.
really sounded. So
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
yeah. And actually most consonants we treat as beginning the next syllable. So that sha, if it helps you, seeing that dot under the S, well, it's the ah. So it prepares us to go up, but really it's because of the mark over the vowel. We should never have to see a pitch mark over a consonant unless it's at the very end. And sometimes we go up.
That clarifies perfectly because every time I see the dot, I've been trying to go up or down.
Yeah,
So
I had
not
a
on-
feeling. Yeah, that's
only
why
on
it's
vowels.
really
Only on
important to get these signs, to
Okay.
understand these signs.
Oh, can I just say, Leslie, that I know for me, that was really hard for me at first too, was like deciphering what the marks were. But to just know that the only time it's telling you to go up is when it's a vertical line.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
the only time. And the only time it's going to, the
Go
only time it's the
down,
line under. it's
horizontal
always
line
going down.
under.
Yeah.
Yes,
Then if there's like a long horizontal line on top, then it's a long letter. And then it might be a horizontal and then a vertical if you
Yeah,
go up over
yeah.
the long, like,
is that making sense, Lisa? So again,
That's much better.
yeah,
Thank you.
vertical line over the vowel tells us to go up in pitch. Horizontal line under the vowel tells us to go down in pitch. Otherwise, that vowel is in the middle and that whole syllable is in the middle.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So we work those two lines. So we'll do the last two lines and then we'll do the whole chant. So to the third line. Namo vache, namo vachaspataye. Again. Namo vache, namo vachaspataye. Namo Vishnave Brihate Karomi. Namo Vishnave Brihate Karomi. So let's put those two lines together. Namo vache, namo vachaspataye, namo vishnave, brihate karomi. Now let's chant all 4 lines ending in the 3 shantis. Om Namo Brahmane, Namo Astvagnaye, Nama Prithivyaye, Nama Oshadhibhyaha, Namo vache, namo vachaspataye, namo vishnave, brihate karomi. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This may still be work, but is it coming slowly? Good, thank you. Let's move on to the Santi Pathah of the tattiriya Upanishad, which we began last week. Oh, sorry. It's hay fever time. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha. I'll repeat each line. Okay, so now when I say line, I'm referring to every phrase that ends with one of those vertical staff or dandas. So we'll repeat that and then move on. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanno Bhavatvaryama. Let's put those 2 lines together. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama. Let's move on. Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi. We'll repeat that. Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi. And we'll move to the 4th line. Shanno Vishnurukramaha Shanno Vishnurukramaha. We'll go to the next 2 lines. Namo Brahmane Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo. Namaste Vayo. Now,
I have a question, Leslie, before you go further.
sure,
I
Susan.
think I heard you referring to this in Bob's class with the Brahman and the Brahman.
Ah, yes.
Why isn't it Brahman? Brahmane, why not?
Because it causes an interruption in the chitta, and we'll never get chitta vritti nirodha. Brahman. I mean, when we speak of Brahman, like Edwin Bryant says it beautifully. He has a wonderful, rich pronunciation. He will say Brahman, but in the Vedic chant especially, and that's carried over into post-Vedic chant as well, we simply reverse the sounds because it rolls out of the mouth much more smoothly. Brahman, namo brahmane. Let's all do that. So just chant with me 3 times, or if you need to hear it the first time, that's fine. Namo brahmane, namo brahmane, namo brahmane. Now we're going to reverse it so that's brahmane, brahman. Namo brahmane, namo brahmane, namo brahmane. So the real answer is that this is how it's done in Vedic chanting. This is how it's always done. And I do believe it's because chanting is a way to arrive at chitta vritti nirodha, but it won't happen if we don't follow those rules. That would be my understanding. So when I chant through this, you're welcome to join, but see if you catch, there's a rhythm to this whole thing. And if I have the stamina, I'll just go through the whole thing so you can hear it. It's really a wonderful thing if you can hear a group of priests doing it. It's done often in India. It's a very popular chant. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So does anyone have anything to say about, do you have a response to that? I did my best to give it, an entirety so that you hear a rhythmic flow going on. Do you have any comments at all? Like, please don't do this ever again, Leslie, or did it have an effect? It's really, and whatever effect it had on you to listen, to hear it, it has a greater effect when we get to chant it. That's the thing about chanting. It was really made for the chanters, even though we can get a lot out of hearing it.
I love it in conjunction with the one we did before it. as them together. And then also, this is the first time I remember ever seeing namaste in a chant.
Yeah, there it is. Salutation to you. And so I added a translation which we went over last week. And the translation is not mine, although I've kind of borrowed it from Chinmayananda's explanation. It's a beautiful translation. And he also specifies who Mitra is in this context and who Varuna. And Varuna is another word for the wind, Vayu, Varuna. But these are more deified. And it's, yeah, so May Mitra, the controller. So here that Mitra is in the third person. May Varuna bless us. He's the third person. May the blessings of Aryama, that's in the third person. May the grace of Indra. May he or they, may he do this for us. May Vishnu do this for us. And then salutations to Brahman, salutations to thee. And then we're addressing someone. So it's the second person singular. So namaste, namaste literally means salutation to you. Te is the direct object of, no, it's not direct object. I'm sorry. It's the dative case. To whom? I have to brush up on my grammar. But anyways, the dative case, the third case. And when we study Sanskrit grammar, we learn to identify the cases of the nouns. So te is the pronoun you when someone is giving something to.
It's a third person. That's all it is. I don't think it's dative.
Yeah,
I think it's just third
It's-
person.
here it's really second person because third person would be to him or
Him.
her.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But it is a dative case actually.
No,
to-
but the TE ending is a third person. The third
But it's
person.
but here it's the second person. Okay, so we're not going to go into the grammar because we're not. But anyway, do you have anything else to say on the rhythm? Okay, would you like to chant it now? So I chanted through the whole thing. Let's chant through Namaste Vayo, okay, all together. Let's do that twice through. Okay, and I'll do it a little bit more slowly so we can wrap our tongue around it. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo. So now everyone, and Lisa in particular, is this making sense to you in terms of pitch marks?
Yeah.
Are you with us? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Great.
I don't know if I can reproduce it, but I'm with you.
Okay, let's move to the next line then. Twameva pratyaksham brahmasi. You indeed are the pratyakshanumanagamat brahmanani. So pratyaksha, pratyaksha, toward the eye. Twameva pratyaksham brahmasi. So notice at the end of pratyaksham, we go into bra and there's a double consonant. So you'll hear in my voice a pause. I'm not really making a pause intentional, but I'm getting ready for the bra. Twameva pratyaksham brahmasi. And that happened earlier in Twameva prat aprat. So what I remember being coached on a lot and being taught a lot by Sonia was we may tend to separate Twameva from Pratyaksham. So we might tend to chant this way, Twameva Pratyaksham. But we were taught over and over again to close the mouth at the lips to prepare for the pra in Pratyaksham. And that became very important. And I just remember Sonia would watch us like a hawk, and we never got away with doing it any differently. So we were trained. Twameva. So just do that with me. Twameva. Good. One more time. Twameva. Okay, so now we'll go on. Twameva pratyaksham brahmasi. Let's repeat that and we'll move on to the next one. Twameva pratyaksham brahmasi. Now we have a long ah in twam. Twameva pratyaksham brahmavadishyami. Twameva. There we go again. Twameva pratyaksham brahma. Your teacher is tired. Twameva pratyaksham brahmavadishyami. So brahmava, it's like we're saying hava. Brahmavadishyami. So understanding all of that, the timing of those short vowels, long vowels, the pra and the bra and the compound consonant, that all produces rhythm, the rhythm of this. So from twameva to the end of that line, twice through. Twameva pratyaksham brahmavadishyami. Twameva pratyaksham brahmavadishyami. So if you've gotten through that, we may as well go to the next one. They're shorter. Ritam, the right, the ritam, the right of everything. I shall declare the right. Ritam vadishyami. Let's do that twice. Ritam vadishyami. Ritam vadishyami. Ritam vadishyami. And then with satyam. Satyam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. Let's do those two lines twice through. Ritam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. Ritam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. We'll do it once more and we'll pick up the pace. Ritam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. Would you like to go on? See if we can finish this? Okay. Tanmamavatu. That's an interesting phrase. We have the ta and the avatu. Those are the only sharp aghosha consonants, and everything else is quite resonant. Tanmamavatu. Let's do that slowly. Tanmamavatu. And then speed it up. Tanmamavatu. Tanmamavatu. And then tadvaktaramavatu. 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 So putting them together, we'll do both of them twice through. Tanmamavatu. Tadvaktaramavatu. Tanmamavatu. Tadvaktaramavatu. And then avatumam. We'll do that twice. Avatumam. Avatumam. And then avatuvaktaram. So there we have a double danda over the M at the end of the phrase. That tells us to begin the in the middle, like ra, ram, and then we have to go up in the middle of ram, ram. Now, sometimes I've heard Vedic chant priests have a glottic sound there. So it's like this. Vaktaram. Can you hear that difference? So either one. I think usually in our classes, we just go up with more smoothness, but I've heard it both ways. So I'm not sure at this point which is the preferred way. It just depends on the school that you're in. Vaktaram, Vaktaram, Ram. So now if we put those two little lines together, Avatumam, Avatu Vaktaram, Avatu Vaktaram. Sometimes it's easier to go up when you may have that glottic stop. Avatu Vaktaram. Yeah, it's easier for me that way. So either way for you, however you can do it, sliding up or use the glottic stop. Shall we chant the whole thing together? Thumbs up, sideways, down. Okay. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvar Yama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnururkramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmavadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tad Dvaktaram avatu mam, avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. How do you all feel doing that? Maybe there were possible struggles, but is it enjoyable? I love your thumbs up, Lisa. That gives me hope for myself, for humanity. Is that enjoyable for you?
I like that one. I feel like it just a few more times of practice and it'll be much more natural. Whereas some other ones, I feel like it'll take many, many more rounds of practice.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Maybe it's because it's all Sanskrit and our English speaking mouths are not accustomed to it. And so some things come more easily than others, you know, trying to find that third mouth position. And sometimes I think the second mouth position is even harder to find because it's broader. It's not, there is not one pinpointed place. It's the whole part of the soft palate, and that nja and nya and nya, jnanam and anjaya. I mean, my goodness gracious.
But Leslie, also that there are only 3 levels you can go, up, middle, or low.
Yes.
It's not, it's kind of clear.
Yeah,
I think that Patty, I think that's what was helpful for me also. Like I was able to find my way.
that's good. That's good. And the chant marks are making sense to you. I mean, there's no, let me know if there's any confusion at all, we can clarify. Oh, I'm so happy that you're enjoying this. It is a happy chant. We're saluting everybody who's going to be wonderful for us. Well, it's 12 minutes after 5 by my Fitbit, which I think is slow. So it's really 5:15, right? I don't know why my Fitbit is slow. And it shouldn't be slow. All the nagging it tells me, you know, time to walk. You didn't exercise enough. Does anybody read David Sedaris? Have you read, I don't know, he talks about Fitbit in one of his later books.
Leslie, are you going to be picking up garbage on the side of the road too, like he does?
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired. You know that one. It's so good. Yeah,
Doesn't everybody do that?
in theory. There are a lot of people who leave it on the side of the road, that's for sure. A lot of people. And now it's hello there. Hi, beautiful one. Hi, Winnie. And now, you know, I've received some Facebook photographs of wildlife, beautiful birds who got their beaks stuck inside the elastic of a mask. So now before I toss them, I'm cutting up the elastic part and kind of trying to cut through the mask and make it as little as possible. It's just tragic what we're doing to our wildlife. So there's always something, right? Excuse me, it's really bothering me that I can't remember the David Sedaris book. So look at your closing invocations. We're going to do them next. Calypso. Calypso, very funny. And kind of poignant too. So very comforting book for me these days. Is anyone familiar yet with Yadakshara? If not yet, maybe I'll just chant it. This is how we end all of our sessions in Vedic chant. I've also included Sahana Vavatu on this on the back, but what we do at the end of every session is the Kshama Shloka and the Sattvika Tyagaha, Kayena. which is-
Leslie,
Yeah,
next week, could we do this go through this like we do with the other chants, maybe?
yes, we will. Okay, I will plan it and I'll make sure maybe I'll start it in the beginning and then we'll go to
Just
it.
so we can get a little bit more familiar rather than just hear it at the end. And
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Thank you for that request. Well, you know what? I'm going to just repeat every 2 lines. Wherever you see a danda, I'll repeat it. And then you're welcome to join me. We may as well start now. But I won't actually teach. We'll just move on. Yadaksharapada brashtam matrahinantu yad bhavet. Yadaksharpada brashtam matrahinantu yad bhavet tat sarvang kshamyatan deva sorry tat sarvang kshamyatan deva narayana namostute tat sarvang kshamyatan deva narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai Narayana yeti samarpayami karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai Narayana yeti samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Then we all say good night or good morning, break for breakfast or dinner. Thank you for that request, Lisa. Good idea.
Thank you. I'm just, by the time we get to the end, I'm a bit tired and it's hard to,
Yeah, I know. Me too.
thank you.
It's a
Have a
lot.
good
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
I
Thank you,
will.
Leslie.
Thank you.